Cosmic Crack opens a new door to understanding the stars, moon, and planets for yourself and also for people in the news. Are they acting authentically or just faking it? You'll hear the inside scoop about those newsmakers, their mindset, and intentions. Host Jenny Stone shares her wit and wisdom about astrology right here each week on webtalkradio.net.
Hi, this is Cosmic Crack. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to look at the charts of some people who are in the news. Mitch McConnell. Yes, Mitch. Lindsey Graham. See what we can see for him. Michelle and Barack Obama, because they're back in the news. So let's start with Mitch McConnell. He was born February 20th, 1942. That makes him 78 years old. And his chart is 78% fixed. 78% fixed. I can't imagine what that must be like. But once he makes up his mind, ain't no going around him. His father was in the army, and he went into the army, but he only served for 37 days in the reserve, and he was let go for medical problems. His chart is good. It's earth, fire, water, air, and they're all represented. And I did a sunrise chart for him because we don't know the time. But he's the kind of person who likes to keep busy. His mind is quick and he can adapt to new situations. He doesn't like having to stick to tedious and repetitive work routines. He needs an occupation that's alive and growing and fast-moving, cutting-edge, experimental, and that makes him frustrated with restrictions and limitations. And with his fixed chart, if he dislikes routine, he's in trouble. So it's important for him to have a strategy in order to achieve business goals. But, I don't know what that was like growing up. What's interesting about his chart is that he was born with Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde. So in a regular chart, that would make him, what should we say, shy, introspective, not ready to be out there in the world, quiet. But interestingly, Mercury went direct when he was 1 year old. Venus went direct 2.5 years later. And again, that would make him fixed, because both of those planets were pretty much stationary when he was born. He's fixed. What can I tell you? Looking at the future for him, there's a very big move that happens. It happens in his chart, July 2021. But usually the months leading up to that can be very depressing, even to the point of like wanting out, not knowing what's happening. Really a depressing time for him. So although the change doesn't click over until July, I think the first few months of 2021 are very depressing for him. When it does click over, a whole new group of friends, maybe a new job, change of location, some exciting things in the years following. But I can't see him staying in the same position in 2021. So how about Lindsey Graham? He was born July 9th, 1955. He served in the military, but he served as an attorney and then chief prosecutor. Now, he had a tough childhood. His father died when he was 21. His mother died 15 months later. He's someone who likes to stand well and give the appearance of having abundance, financial security. Money is very important to him. And he wanted to start earning early in life, perhaps even before he knew what he was good at. And when he's in a down spiral, he's despairing, discouraged, maybe even seeking escape. But his birth destiny is choosing to take responsibility for creating stability. And he takes a lot of satisfaction in the work he does, and he likes to help others. He feels that he's helping others. He likes to turn around difficult circumstances. But with this birth chart, debts have to be repaid. No obligations taken on that can't be easily settled. Favors have to be repaid quickly, and it requires strict honesty in all dealings. So he's got a lot to answer for in terms of karma. I'm not seeing changes for him until 2026. And at that point, it's the end of a relationship. And an end of a relationship means somebody wants out. Beyond that, there's some interesting developments for him, but not until 2026. So let's look at something lighter. Let's look at the charts for Michelle and Barack Obama. Barack, he has so many things in his chart. Barack, he was August 4th, 1961, 7:24 p.m. in Hawaii. The sun in Leo, moon in Gemini, Venus in Cancer, Mars in Virgo. And that's a pretty flammable mix. Sun in Leo, moon in Gemini. But what's interesting is that he has the south node on the ascendant. Now, we talked about how Camilla has the north node on the ascendant. But when it's the south node, it kind of suggests that in a previous lifetime, he got pushed around. He didn't achieve his purpose. So he came into this life with a push to be more daring, ready to do something risky. But on the other hand, he's got the North Node very close to Uranus, and that gives him charm and celebrity status. And you can see it. He steps out. He's Mr. Personality in a quiet way. His chart is 31% fire and 33% air, and that's a combustible mix. When you put fire and air together, it just fans the flames. And you can see that when it's compared to Michelle, because she's mostly earth and water and only 6% fire. So she needs him to get her excited, enthusiastic, fired up. And he needs her very much to process his emotions. Now, the one thing Michelle was so fired up by was the lineup of planets in early 2020. And I'm surprised that with all that rocking her chart, I'm surprised she didn't launch rockets at Trump until now. But maybe she was writing and promoting her book and that slowed her down. Now, Michelle, we don't have a time. January 17th, 1964, in Chicago. And that gives her Sun in Capricorn, Moon in Libra, Venus in Pisces. And that Venus in Pisces will sacrifice for love. And you can see that in her. She has the North Node in Cancer, and she does it well with compassion. It's not an easy North Node placement. And if you have no compassion, you come off hard. And I want it because that's what the rules say it should be. So she does it well. She does it very, very well. The other person who does it well, interestingly, is Mariska Hargitay, who's in SUV. And she has that position of authority, which Michelle has, but she also has compassion, and that's why we love her. So let's go back and look at how they approach marriage, because it's kind of interesting to look at the two charts together. Now, President Obama, what I see in his chart about marriage is, yes, he's dynamic, universal, wants to help others, evolve humanity. He wants to take on leadership. He was afraid to take it on, but he took it on anyway. But when he went looking for a partner, he wanted somebody who's comfortable volunteering at the soup kitchen and then going to a formal party, because he can easily network between those two extremes. But it takes a special kind of woman to function that way. Michelle was not at all sure when she met him. She wanted a good match, but she wanted to be sure. So there were delays, emails, phone conversations before their friendship developed into a solid relationship. Yeah, she was looking for a love match, but it had to be a relationship with family associations, somebody who could be successful in their own right. And her problem is that she tends to make decisions about relationships with the same part of her brain that people use to make decisions about business. So she wouldn't let herself get involved with a frivolous romance. She needs to have a partner who's a bit of a celebrity. And she probably pushed him in that direction. So Barack and money, and he's a personality. He's confident about his abilities. He expected to be well compensated, and he's got poise, self-reliance. He can make a good living no matter what. But in business, he needs encouragement and cooperation and community. And there's some periods of his life where he's going to handle a lot of money, but he needs to handle it well. He's got boldness, he's got bravado, he's willing to take risks, but he was also afraid. Now, Michelle, she's a magnet for financial, and she can be relied upon to handle family resources in a very responsible way. She's going to leave a trust fund for her kids, but she manages it well. And in her chart it says, good judgment comes together with a stroke of luck. And that was probably her book. She could make good fortune, but she already has a sound foundation. So between the two, they created a legacy. And you can see it in both of them. The good thing, I'm not seeing any great changes in their charts, certainly for the next 3 to 5 years. But what I do see that was President Obama came out on the campaign trail, and that's when his progressed moon went into Leo, so he was more comfortable being seen in public. After the 2 years when his progressed moon was in Cancer, and he wanted to stay home and hunker down. But he's out, he's back, he's ready to take on the world again, and he's a good role model. And I think he'll help Biden, because between the two of them, they've got a big job to do. Anyway, thank you for taking this journey with me. I hope I gave you some insight. Next, I want you to look at Fauci, at Dr. Fauci. He's an interesting guy, but you have to wait for the next edition for that, all right? Thanks for being here. I talk to you soon. Bye.